Morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody. We are on record, and today is November 10th. We are in session number 7 of our class, and today we will start a new project. It is called Energy Telecom Project, and in our plan we are saying, okay, what is the project story and what are the requirements and what is exactly we are going to do. Energy telecom was done for a real life kind of needs. We had an idea a year ago about trying certain things in a school. So I said, okay, let's explore a certain line of business, and that business is a brokerage for telecommunication needs of households. So telecommunication and energy needs. And let me show you that application so you better understand what we are talking about. It says project URL here. You see that link, project URL. And I'm saying open a new window. It is a form. And what that form does, it collects information about what people might need. I have to mute you guys because I see some extra outside noises there. So it says, okay, what are your cell phone service needs? What are your local and long distance needs? What are your high-speed internet needs? And what's your TV service? And it's not just that. It is also about home security systems and the digital phone service with video phone. So more and more people are using video phones from home. And gas and electric services. That industry is being deregulated as we speak, which means there's going to be open competition, which is not there yet in most of the states, but it is coming. It just came to California a few months ago. So, and we said, okay, let's see if we can teach people how to do that. And in order to teach others how to do something, so I said, okay, let's try it ourselves. And I started to learn that business. And eventually we realized we do not want to teach that because of certain ethical kind of aspects. So the quality of service they offered, I didn't like the idea. They were telling everybody the quality is the same. The quality was not the same. The quality was worse. So I said, okay, ethically I cannot be in that business, and I cannot teach anybody to be in that business. So here is the application, and we are going to test that application. It is just one page, and that page is just about that form, and using that application we will learn how to test web forms. And if you think about it, practically each and every application on the web has at least one form, but it normally has more than one. Then we have requirements to that application, and we are lucky to have requirements because, as you probably know, sometimes we have no requirements at all. Oh, what is that? Requirements. Okay. Here are the requirements. You know what I will do, guys? I will make a copy and put it in Notepad. So you can better see the requirements. So I hope you can see very well what's on my screen. So let's take a look at the requirements first. It says energytelecom.org is a web-based application, online form, created for collecting data about contact information and telecommunication / energy services needs of a person, a household. So what we understand from that sentence? We understand it is not about commercial needs. It's not about businesses which might need telecommunication services and energy services. They do need it, but it's not what the business is about. Okay. Then it says that information will be given to an ACN is a company name, services broker, as a sales lead. the most valuable data is the contact information. Contact information, guys, not exactly the telecommunication needs, because most of the people do not know off the top of their head what they need. If you or what they have. If you ask people what they have in insurance, they might not remember 90% of what they have in their insurance. So you cannot rely on the data they provide you in the form, but contact information is the key. If you have contact information, you talk to the person, you get kind of more detailed information. That is how you do business. So from the business perspective, contact information is everything and technical information is almost nothing. It will help you to understand the value and the features and everything. The services information is somewhat important, but the broker will find further detail on needs and existing services from the prospect. The collected data types should be consistent with data types collected by similar applications used in both telecommunication and energy services. That position, guys, gives you a lot of information if you think about it. It answers lots of potential questions, because when you look at something and you say, is it good, is it bad, do I want this, do I want that, should it be done that way? They say, look, we want to be consistent with other applications which are doing pretty much same thing. So look at other applications and make sure we are like them. So it is very valuable information. State-specific adjustment should be made. So in California, for example, we have 5 companies or 10 companies or 50 companies doing that. And in Texas, it might be completely different companies. So that application should provide users different choices. The collected data is saved in the database. What could be the alternative? The alternative would be they just fill out the form, and that form generates email, and people get email. It is not what's happening here. Instead of sending them email, it saves data in a database first, and it does send email, actually. Upon the form being submitted, the application generates an email with all the information available. But it is not just about email. We also have it in database, which is important, because you are going to test that. You are going to look at the database records and to make sure the record in the database is consistent with the data typed into the form. The application should be compliant with basic GUI guidelines for web application, and that is what we are learning. It's a part of our course, and that is why I included that in requirements. Specific data requirements. Here, it goes through the form field by field. Actually, it goes through contact information fields, not the entire form, but contact information fields, and it tells you exactly what we want. It says, first name is a text field. It accepts all characters. So letters, digits, special characters. Do not complain about first name accepting special characters, guys. It is supposed to. It doesn't take more than 31 characters. So it takes up to 31 characters. We have to test that. And it is a required field. Good. So, and same about first name, last name, street address, city, state, zip, email, and phone number. So we've got some rules here, rules of the game. And now I would run maybe, okay, I will write bug reports right here in that same file, in Notepad file. And first, let's take a look at the form. I'm just trying to figure out where the form is. Okay, here is the form. Let's take a look at the form, and I will apply the rules of graphic user interface, which we know already, which we learned already, to that form. For example, let's start with tab order. It's a form, so the rules for dialog boxes should be applicable. I'm saying, okay, first name, and remember, guys, whatever you test, first time in your life you do positive testing. You are not trying to break anything down. You are doing positive testing. So I'm saying, okay, first name, Mike. And then I do tab on the keyboard, and we expect, let me guys unmute you. So you are, you can talk. I am in the first name field. I am here. If I push the tab key, where do you think I should go? Where you would expect me to go? Last name, yeah. I do tab, and where I did go? I did go to referred by. So let's say referred by my wife. And then I do tab again, and it goes to last name. Is it exactly the way we expect it to work? No. It is not. No. And then, so I can write a bug report on that right away. And I can say, okay, bug report number 1, I'm saying violation of the tab order. The reason I put tab in uppercase, it is a common convention. Buttons on the keyboard are shown in uppercase, like tab or shift or control, alt, page down. Those are done that way. Okay, let me mute you again. Okay, so violation of the tab order, colon. So what exactly? From okay, I'm sorry. From last name, is it first or last? It's good to look at the GUI when we do that. From first name field, input focus. Input focus is exactly what moves when we do tab, and input focus is the field where is the control where the typing goes. So input focus moves to which one? Last name? Okay. No, I'm sorry. Referred by field, not last name as expected. Why is it expected to go to the last name? Because the rule says tab order should be either logical or left to right, top to the bottom. So logically, from first name, I would expect to go to last name. That is what I think. In terms of left to right, let's say there is no logic, but again, from first name, it should go to the right, to the last name. So there is no reason which justifies why it goes to that one. Okay, let's keep going. And then I'm doing tab street address 123 main. It goes to city, which is good. So Los Altos. Then where the state, okay, goes to state. Then I'm saying zip 94024. Email, let's say Mike at portnov.com. Guys, testers naturally need test data. See, I'm typing in some bogus address. It's not exactly my address, but I am using my own name. I'm not using somebody else's name. And sometimes you might run into conflict with other people if you use their names. Just use yours. I mean, I've seen a couple of times how it happens. So be safe. Do not use anybody else's name. And so I do another tab, and it goes to phone. Okay. Okay, then I do best way to contact me. Let's say phone. Referred my wife. So we've got personal information, contact information completed. So what if I do tab again? Op. Wow, wait a second. Phone. Okay, so I did it by mouse. But so now from phone, okay, one more time, guys. From phone, it moves to the cell phone services. It goes to the select one. Select one. Let's say Verizon. Actually, I can do it by mouse, but of the keyboard, but I can do it by mouse. Let's say Verizon. I'm do another tab. It comes to that checkbox. I can do it by keyboard. If I use a space key on the keyboard will trigger the checkbox. See, I can do it just off the keyboard. I'm happy. Tab. Another one. Another tab. My monthly bill is approximately $56. Then minutes on the plan. Okay, let's see. We have, I don't know, 750. So you can do more testing of the tab order later on. But so far we found one bug and we are happy with that. Then we have a rule which says when form opens, dialog box opens, it should have what's called input focus, which means default input focus field. So when I start typing, typing goes somewhere. Let's do it this way. Let's exit that form, go back to the screen and say project URL, open link in new tab. Okay, here is the form, guys. If I start typing, where does my typing go? Nowhere. So I have to really click here so it accepts my typing. Okay, so we've got another bug report which says number 2, the form has no default input focus field. The form has no default input focus field. Okay, or default input focus assigned to any field, whichever way you like it more. Good. What else do we know about dialog boxes? Let me ask you. So let me unmute you. So guys, what do you think we should try? Which other rules we know about dialog boxes? Hello? Anybody?
Where is submit button?
So?
Is
default button.
We do have submit button, yes. Yeah.
Default button.
Oh, we are talking about, do we have default button in that application? Yeah, very good. Let's exit and run the application again. Say project URL, open in a new tab. And what if I push the enter key on my keyboard? Nothing happens, guys. Even if I click inside and push enter key, nothing happens. There is one idea which I want to share with you. There is a big difference from graphic user interface standpoint. There is a big difference between small form and a big form. A small form is pretty much like a dialog box because I can see the entire thing on my screen. In a larger form, where I can see maybe 5% of the entire form, maybe it's kind of dangerous to have a default button. Because when I hit the enter key, I have no idea what exactly is going to be pushed. So I would say, since that form is a long form and I have no idea which buttons are available, I would say I would rather do not have any default button. It's not a dialog box, guys, because dialog box is always on your screen. So there is some difference here. And I would say that difference is a very substantial difference. So for longer form, I would ignore the requirement for default button. So any more ideas? Yes, come on.
It doesn't look nice from this point that it's not aligned on the left side, so I don't know how to avoid this.
Any specific part or the entire form, or what is exactly not aligned?
The contact information part.
Uh-huh.
So full name, street address, so everything is kind of in different parts of the. It has to be.
It is one of the very common designs. What is really aligned here is the left edge of the text fields. Text fields are aligned, and then since labels have different lengths, so it looks like the left border of labels is not aligned, but it happens because the fields are aligned. So it happens. It is a very common design.
There is a field best way to contact me on 2 lines.
Okay, so what you are saying, okay, here is a label.
Yes. The label best way to
Yes.
contact me is on 2 lines.
I think if we change the resolution on the screen, or if we go to another browser, or if we change size of the fonts on the form, so it will become like 1 line. But you are absolutely right. So under certain circumstances, the best way to contact me label doesn't fit into 1 line. That is what happened. Okay, let's write a bug report. It's not exactly what we learned about rules for dialog boxes, but since we see that, let's report one, sure. So we are saying the, what is the name? Best time to contact, okay, the best time to contact me label does not fit into 1 line. Doesn't fit into 1 line. Good. So guys, more bugs. Okay, let me
What about
yes.
default data in current provider?
Aha. Default data in current provider. The rule says if it makes sense, yeah, or it says literally, it says provide default values if appropriate. Here, I mean, what's the
I just
appropriate
thought
value?
if there is the most common one in your country, then you can just to make it easier for most users.
I see what happens. There is a danger in providing some default value. If it says select, the way it is right now, you have to go and select one. If it says Verizon, for example, you might ignore it. You might have AT&T, but then you ignore it.
Or maybe
So I would say sometimes it's better not to provide any default value. Yes.
Mikhail,
Uh-huh.
and maybe same thing to best way to contact me, not select, and will set get default value mail, maybe like suggestion, not bug report.
Again, it really depends on the design. When you design any form, not you, but people who design the form, so it depends what they want. If they really want you to tell us how to contact you, they will not give you any default. They want to know exactly what you say. If they offer you that default, it means they put their own words in your mouth. And they don't want that. I mean, they really want to know how you want to be contacted.
Okay.
So there is some logic behind. It's not like you look at the rule and you say, is there any way I can really implement something under that rule? Not really. It doesn't happen like that, guys. We have business logic first, and then that graphic user interface is supposed to service that business logic, not vice versa. Okay, let me show you something here. We will go to portnov.com/data. You know how to go there, or I didn't tell you yet, guys? Nobody says anything.
No.
No. Okay. We have secure data for secure folder with data for our students here who are studying on campus. And there is a link here. It says testing web forms. I will create the document under your interface, so you will have access to that document. And I will open that in new tab. And we are going to look at the rules of the game for testing forms. And we do have a form to test. So it's not like, we are talking about something not relevant to the class. Are you able to see the letters? Is it too small or?
Not very good.
Not very good. Okay, let's see. Okay. Is it better now?
Yes.
Might need some time so you can see it. Yeah. Well, that one is big. Is it big enough?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, testing internet forms, and as I told you before, forms are everywhere, and it says there is an asterisk here, and it says start with positive testing first. That is a very typical mistake new testers make. You go to an interview, they ask you, how would you test this? And you start with breaking things down. Guys, if the thing is broken already, makes no sense to break anything. Professional people start with positive testing first. No negative test cases until we make sure that positive use case passes. And so in our case, I would have to really submit the form and see if it did go through. Now, number one, it says, let's talk about required fields. You remember in our requirements right here, it says, okay, here are the fields, and some of them are required fields. We do have some list of required fields. And it says, let's talk about required fields. Each required field has an asterisk, should have an asterisk, good. Error message provided if required field has no input. I would say that is a very simple, very simple set of rules. Let's try. Okay, let's go there. Where is the form? Okay, should be here. Okay, here is the form. So guys, we've got some required fields, and we have that asterisk here, and we have the label which says indicates required field. It is a very common kind of way of saying what's the meaning of the asterisk. And definitely some fields have that asterisk, like first name and last name. And it says in our requirements, it says first name is required, last name is required, street is required, city is required, state, zip, email and phone are required. So each and every field which is supposed to have the asterisk does have the asterisk. Now what I do, how do I test the whole thing? I just go to the end and I'm saying submit. I'm pushing the submit button. And since there is no single field with any data, it should complain about required fields. And it says first name. Okay, in the error message, it says, okay, first name, good. Last name, good. It should complain about last name. Street address, it should complain about street address. City, it should complain about city. It should complain about state and zip code. But then, guys, we have email, and it should complain about email, and it doesn't. And actually, that asterisk here didn't turn into red. So email field is not really considered to be the required field. But look what happened here. It says, please enter the name of the person you were referred by. Referred by is not required field. It's not supposed to be required field. It doesn't have an asterisk. And so we should write two bug reports here. One bug report about email field, and then another bug report about the referred by field. Okay, let's go for email field. The bug report here is very simple. We are saying number 4. Email field. Email should be in I will put it in double quotes because that is the convention I'm using, since double quotes are saying it's not an English language word for email, it's name of the field. So email field is not handled as required. That's it. I'm not explaining anything. I'm just saying it's not handled as required. Which way? Go look for yourself. There is enough information here, I think. If I expect developer not being kind of smart enough to understand that, but guys, in reality, they're real smart people. Okay, so they know what you mean, at least up to that level. And then we have another bug, and that bug is about referred by. We have two situations here. Situation number 1 is we are saying, okay, we have requirements. Requirements say nothing about referred by being a required field, so it is not required. So let's write a bug report which says remove that required field status from that field. That is one logic. Another logic says, yes, but what if something changed in their minds? They just didn't change the requirement, and it happens a lot. So requirement is kind of obsolete, not updated, and they do want it as required field. So I have two ways to report a problem. One way, I say, okay, we have a problem, guys, do something. So we write problem bug report. Another way of doing that is we come with solution. If you know the solution, the bug report with solution is more valuable than bug report with a problem. You just tell developer, okay, go and do this, instead of saying, go and look what you can do. But unless you have 100% solution, do not come up with solution bug report, because if you come with the wrong solution, it's a little bit working against you. You don't want that. You find the bug, you want to get certain benefit of finding the bug, not deprive yourself of that benefit by coming with the wrong solution. Anytime you have a doubt, or let's say microscopic doubt, there is no problem in coming with a problem bug report, not solution bug report. So I will write a problem bug report for referred by field. So what is the problem here? The problem is it does not have any asterisk, but it is processed as a required field. So we have basically two solutions here. Solution number 1, either give me that asterisk so people know it's a required field if you want to. Solution number 2 is remove that required. So don't make it required. That is what we might offer. And whichever way we develop that bug report, we might say, okay, let's go straightforward way. First, we are saying where it happens. We are saying referred by field, referred by field, referred by field, colon, either provide an asterisk or remove its required status or functionality. Either provide an asterisk or remove its required status. Okay, one of the possible bug reports. I'm not saying it's kind of the best one I wrote in my life, but it's a decent bug report. So let me save the file so I can upload it later on to your page. So let's call it energy. Okay, energy bugs. Okay, good. We have that form. Where is the form, by the way? Guys, anybody knows where the form is? I can really. Is it the one? It used to be much larger actually. Okay, I apologize. I'm just trying to find out where the form is. Oh, okay, it's here. So, required field. So we looked at the required field, which was easy. Then we are saying data retained in database. Test for each field. So what does it mean? You create a complete record. You provide certain value to each and every field. You choose each and every text list box, combo box, check box, whatever is available to you. Then you submit that record, and then you go to the database and you say, how will I go to the database? They have to give you tools. Obviously, you cannot do it yourself. You need tools. If it happens, if they give you that tool and you go back to the database and you check the record, that is called gray box testing. So gray box testing is an extension of black box testing. It's not a mix of white and black. No, it's not like paint. You know, it's not a mix. Black box is an extension. Gray box is an extension of black box. So you know certain things about the structure of data structure, architecture, protocols, different things. So and you might need some tools to do gray box testing because it is beyond the interface. So in case they give you the set of tools, so you will go and check the record to keep all the values we did input. Because what might happen, what you expect, certain values are not there at all, just missing, and certain values might have certain fields might have values which never change. It might happen. Let's say there is a checkbox and it's always checked or unchecked no matter what you do. Then it might be text field which accepts less characters than you are able to type in. So let's say you can type 100 characters, but what it really saves is 52 or something like that. Then emails retaining data. So after you fill out that form, email goes to the broker. So for testing purposes, you use your own email and you look inside of that email. And again, for exact same complete record, you check each and every field, each and every position, checkbox, combo box, whatever you typed in or checked, unchecked. It is represented properly in that email. That is what you do. And also, the very fact it goes to that correct address. Sometimes it goes to the wrong people. Wrong people might be, let's say, when developers develop that, they might include their email to make sure it works, and then they forget to remove their email. So it keeps going to the people who are not supposed to really receive that information. Values in lists. We have lots of lists in our application, as you probably noticed. So we have, let's say, state is the very first list here, and then reasons how, not reasons, but the ways to be contacted. Then we have providers for different services. So we have lots of lists, and we have rules for how the list should be tested. It says here, one value represents the entire list. Try just one. It answers the question of how many test cases do we need to test that list. Let's say we have a list for states, and we have 50 states. How many different states should I try when I test? And the answer is just one. No matter how big is that list, you just need one value to be tested. If it accepts, let's say, state of California and it processes state of California properly, it means it will process any other state properly. So you don't have to do more than one. That is one position. To be consistent. For example, if we look at our application here, let's say state. Somehow, guys, I don't know, somehow, but state of Indiana, instead of having 2 letters, has 3 letters. Which is very weird. And I would say it's kind of, but you know what, in today's world, you might say, how come a mistake like that could happen? Guys, in today's world, we have software development outsourced all over the world, and people might easily, you know, screw up names of the states. One day I've seen cancel button misspelled, you know, and nobody noticed it was done in China, and it's okay. So we have testers, we expect things like that. So let's go to the bug reporting document here, and we are saying number 6. We are saying state list box colon, and we are saying replace. We have the solution, replace IND with IN, and I will just put it in double quotes since I have that convention. Replace IND with IN. IN. Replace IND list item with IN. Good. Let me save. I like to save things because as a tester I know how bad it might be when you lose your data, and since we deal with 6 software, so it might impact a lot. Okay, here are other rules. To be complete. Sometimes, guys, you don't know what exactly should be in that list. And okay, look at other applications which are doing same job in same area, and you will see some. For example, when you look at current provider list, and you have Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile, Nextel, guys, what is the probably major provider of cell phone services in the United States? Anybody knows? I think it's AT&T. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure, but I think AT&T is the largest provider, and I use AT&T since I have iPhone. So the list is not complete. That is what I wanted to say, and it is exactly what the rule says. Values should be complete. The list should be complete, and we are saying same thing. We are saying state. Oh no. State list box. No, oh yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Not state. It is the value. It's current provider. Okay. Copy. Can I take it from? Okay. Current provider. Yeah. Shift insert. Okay. Current provider list box in cell phone section is missing AT&T item, and again I will put AT&T under in the double quotes. Good. What are other rules here? It says make sure items like other, none, less than, over, so something like that is present when applicable. And is it applicable in our case? Let's say, do we have more than 4 or 5 cell phone companies? Absolutely. If you look at current provider for long distance, for example, it does have other. If we look at high-speed internet, wow, big list, it does have other. So I would say for consistency purposes and for kind of functionality reasons, we expect the current provider in cell phone service also have an item like exactly should be other, because other list boxes have the other. It doesn't say more. It says other. We will use exact same word. So now I have solution. Copy. Paste. I'm just trying to save some time. So item number 8 relates to exact same box. Current provider. List box in cell phone section is missing. Yes, but now it's not AT&T. It is missing other item at the end item at the end of the list. Very good. File save. Good. What else do we have? Negative test case. Assign nothing. Get the error message. Only if that field is required field. If I do that with state, which is required field, yes, it will provide me error message. So when it comes to the rules, that last bullet here is applicable if we have required field. Now, default button assignment. Make sure there is one, unless the form is a real long form going out of your screen. We looked at that. Make sure the choice of default button is not conflicting with anything. Yeah, but again, we do not want any default buttons on that specific form. The choice should be consistent from form to form in the application. If you have, let's say, if you have insurance, same thing for insurance, and you have different forms for car insurance, home insurance, condo insurance, and the button name is submit on car insurance, you want it submit on home insurance. Or at least you want them the same. It's not like one button is OK and another button is submit. So that kind. Now, we look at the controls now. And you remember, controls are everything we use to manipulate the interface. List boxes, combo boxes, push buttons, check buttons, radio buttons, everything is a control. So it says, identical controls in different forms are consistent. The way they look, the way you give them names and behavior, we just talked about that. But guys, it's not just about controls in different forms, on the same form as well. And we have a problem like that here. If when you look at the bottom, and you have that submit button and clear button. So clear button has different look and feel. I mean they are done in different styles. So I will write a bug report. Can you see that? Is it on your screen? Guys, can you see it? Submit and clear?
Yes.
Yes, good. So let me write a bug report then. I'm saying bug report number 9. So what happened? Inconsistent look and feel of what? Submit, yeah? Submit and clear buttons. Good. So we have nine bug reports without really spending much time. So it's like 45 minutes. But the value of guidelines is in that. So you just follow a certain checklist, certain guidelines, and you find bug by bug. So checkboxes or radio buttons have reasonable initial values. The keyword here is reasonable. Sometimes they do not need any initial values, and sometimes we intentionally do not want any initial values. So we really get something from the customer. For example, local and long distance international phone service. International call included, yes or no? You can say by default yes, but in reality it might be no, and then you are not getting any valuable information. We are saying no. We are saying, you know what? No default value. If user wants to say something, we know what user says. If user says nothing, we know that user says nothing. If you provide default value, then you don't know if user says that or it is just a default value. So if you really value what people say, don't give them any default value. Okay? So under certain conditions, you do not want that. It is nice to have. It is not must have. Edit boxes, capacity testing. You remember it says about first name field. It says text field accepts all characters no more than 31. And the very first position here says capacity testing, 5 test cases. So we should try, and it is a required field. Yeah. Let's say first name is a required field. So I would need 5 test cases. I would need test case number 1, empty, no input. Test case number 2, with just 1 character, to test the boundary. Okay, number 3, something in between 1 and 31. Let's say 10 characters. And then number 4 and number 5, we test another boundary. We say 31 to be inside the boundaries, and number 5, I would say 32 to be outside of that boundary. We should try 5 test cases. Let's try. So no 0 input we already tried. So if I do just 1 letter and say submit, okay, first name disappeared from that list. So it accepts 1 character. Good. Now 10 characters I'm not trying, I don't care, but what if I do 31 now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Instead of 0, I will do underscore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Another underscore. You know what? It doesn't accept another underscore. So it accepts 30 characters, not 31. Well, what I can do though, guys, I can actually try something big like that long, copy, and see if I can paste something big, because sometimes you cannot type, but you can paste. Okay, yeah, no? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. That's it. Okay, no matter if you type or paste, it accepts 30, which allows me to write a bug report. And that bug report says the first name field accepts 30 characters, not 31 as per requirement. Not 31 as per requirement. So I'm saying, okay, here is a justification of my bug report. So there is a requirement which says that. Good. Then we go to valid, invalid input. In our case, guys, it says in the requirements here, it says that it accepts all the data, accepts all characters. I still have to test. I have to type in all the types. I'm saying, okay, Mike 45, and then I need some characters. I will say something like that. Okay, here is my name. And is it going to accept? Let me push the button. And no complaint. So it's fine. I tested that. Zip code. Okay. Digits only. It shouldn't accept anything by digits, and it should be just 5 digits. Sometimes it accepts 5 plus 4, but then it should tell you. That one should accept 5, I believe. So let's try some. Let's try. You know what? It does allow me to type non-digits. What if I push the button? You know what? It says here, please enter a valid zip code. So it allows me to type garbage, but it doesn't really accept that. So I would rather request the functionality which will not accept digits, but sometimes, you know, it is their decision how to do that. So far I'm not really writing a bug report. What I can do though, since I have a doubt, I will go at other applications which do same job, and we want to be like them, because we normally ask our manager, say, listen, if something is, you know, I have a doubt, is there any application we want to be like? And they tell you which ones. And if that another application works like that, guys, you're okay. If it is not working that way, so then you might come to your manager and say, listen, do you think we have to kind of request that to be fixed, or it's okay? There is no foundation yet for bug report. There is a foundation for investigation. Guys, there is a big difference. As testers, you are not supposed to write everything you don't like or you have a doubt about as a bug report. You write a bug report if you know it's a problem. If you have a doubt, just go and find out, and that is your job. You are basically project managers. What is your project? Gathering requirements. So let's go and find out. What else does it say? Oh, I'm sorry. 5 digits. A phone number. No letters. No special characters. That is what we normally expect. Possible exceptions. Dash, round brackets. In today's world, they would not give you one text field to type the phone number. And in our application, it is not the case. So we have 3 fields. So the dashes and brackets is not an issue anymore. It is a very convenient form. And I would say if you see it that way, request the phone number not to be in one field, but rather be in 3 fields. And that is the common practice today. Email. I actually placed email. Where is it, God? Email address format link to Wikipedia. And it talks about email format, and that is your homework, by the way. So what I want you to do, I want you to write a set of test cases for how would you test email field. Guys, that is your homework. How would you test email field? And here is the link to the definitions of the format. So which characters are valid, which characters are not valid in the domain name, in the username of the email. Okay. So it's kind of a big task. It's not very simple. Data input rules. Let me go to the data input rules. We just talked about one, but so use lists whenever possible versus text boxes. What does it mean? Let's say you have states of the United States. You might give them a text field and say, guys, type your state. But what's going to happen, you might expect certain misspelled abbreviations for states. Also, what happens, you might deal with robots and, you know, abusers trying to type garbage into the field. It's much nicer to have a list box. In most of the applications, even if it comes to date of birth now, you might see like more than 100 items for year of birth. It's okay. It's much better than allowing people to type. So there are certain good practices which you are supposed to enforce. So if certain text field could be replaced with lists, make sure you have lists. Calculate rather than ask for input. For example, they ask you to type in your zip code. And based on the zip code, they can calculate the city where you live. It is much better than allowing you to type in the city where you live, because when you type it in, you might misspell, or you might type something wrong. Lots of people, when they fill out forms, they are afraid to provide their actual data. So they might intentionally type, invalid data. So it's always better if you can figure out things. And then it says functionality, so validation of the functionality. For example, I type my first name and it comes with a lowercase character. For example, I type here Mike. I come and I type Mike. And when I move to the last name field, it automatically will make it uppercase. There is a functionality programmed into that. So then the text field comes with functionality, and you have to test that functionality. It is not just testing the capacity of the text field and valid and invalid input to the field. Okay, exception handling. It's not exactly exceptions which developers have. So that is something kind of black box kind of idea. Means exceptions to us here means user doing something wrong. Let's say user in that negative kind of mode, and then how nicely the system will handle that from the user standpoint. Will it provide nice error messages, or it will provide ugly messages? Is it going to provide to crash? Is it going to hang? Is there anything bad to happen? But specifically, we are looking at messages, because each and every nice form will provide nice messages if user does something wrong with data formats, valid and invalid inputs, typing over the the limit, and so on. So guys, any questions so far?
One question, Mikhail.
Sure, please.
Your bug report number 5.
Mm-hmm.
We write that we have to choose one of 2 solutions.
It's not you. No, it's not you. You report that, but they choose.
Yes, I want to say that we have to remove its required status, because to provide an asterisk is not under our requirements.
No, I explained that before. When I was coming with that bug report, I said part of our life, part of our reality is requirements are not updated
Okay.
each and every time. So in the requirement, it says required field. I mean, the referred by field is not a required field. And we think, if we go in a straightforward way, we have to say remove it. But then I think, well, what if they changed, but I just don't know about it? So now I have a doubt. If I have a doubt, I'm saying, guys, we have inconsistency. The problem, which has no doubt here, is inconsistency. If you have asterisk, if you do not have asterisk, we shouldn't have required field. If we have required field, we should have an asterisk.
Okay.
So that inconsistency is always there. That is the problem, which is kind of, it does not depend on what I know, what I don't know, and this and that. So that is why I go that way. Because I made an assumption that something is not in the requirements, but it's valid. If I know, if I was told before that whatever is not in the requirements is a problem, I would write a different bug report. I will say remove it. I mean, it shouldn't be required. Yeah, it really depends what I think about the how reliable the requirements are. Okay, guys, I will update your page, and so Monday you will talk to Yana. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, good. Nice talking to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.